More than 60% of Gen Z would rather spend money today on life experiences like traveling and going to concerts than saving up for retirement. Also, another 43% of Gen Z doesn't even think that they're going to be eligible for Social Security, that program is going to be gone by the time that they're looking to retire. Now, let's let the facts show that Gen Z is coming up in the most expensive America that there's ever been. Rents are up almost 140% in the last 24 years, whereas wages are up only about 80%. And if we get started on the housing market, that's not much better either. Housing is up a ton as well. So part of addressing this issue is first addressing the fact that Gen Z just doesn't have the amount of disposable income that a lot of generations had before them. It's hard for us to put money aside for retirement when we really don't have much discretionary income after we pay for rent, after we pay for food, all of these things that have gone up so much. But despite that, let's go back to that first article, which says that 63% of Gen Z admitted that they would rather spend their money right now on life experiences like traveling, like going to concerts, than saving up for retirement. Not having the resources to do that and then saying, hey, that's not something that I even want to do, those are two different things. What does that say about us that we're openly expressing the fact that we don't want to put money away for retirement right now? Now, I'm probably more financially liberal than 95% of you guys watching right now. I take probably bigger risks with my money than most of you would be willing to do. I've put thousands of dollars into companies that have gone bankrupt. I've made thousands of dollars in the stock market during COVID. Most recently, I invested over $30,000 in 2 years of my life into trying to make this YouTube channel work. I'm no stranger to taking risks and really not being afraid to lose money or to make mistakes. But the fact of the matter is what Gen Z is doing here, this ideology, I'd rather live for life experiences today, the fun stuff today, this is not an investment. This is just saying I want to have fun today and worry about the problems later. I don't want to beat around the bush. I really think this is one of the stupidest perspectives that my generation could have. Because don't get me wrong, I'm all for having a good time, right now while you're young. But the fact of the matter is you got to counterbalance that with some sort of forward thinking, right? You have to figure out some strategy for retirement, because what we're also saying is almost half of us believe that Social Security is not going to be available for us to retire with. But we're also saying that we're not worried about putting money into retirement. We're not going to be young forever, and this lack of forward thinking is going to come to bite us in the ass. Now, again, I'm no stranger to taking risks. It's something that I do in my personal life, right? I'm not afraid to lose money if I'm investing in something or trying to put money into something that I think is going to give me a reward back. But that's not what we're talking about here. Gen Z is saying we want life experiences. We want to have fun. We want to go to concerts. I'm with you guys. We should have fun. But the fact of the matter is I would like to see more of you guys really investing into yourselves. If we don't have money to put into retirement, which we definitely don't, and I think that's a huge part of the problem, maybe we should, instead of spending that money on fun, put that money into ourselves, invest in our education, and into things that'll actually bring us money back. One of the biggest turns in philosophy that I've had has happened over the last couple of years. Investing in the stock market, I started paying attention to what people considered a good year. A lot of these financial analysts that want to set you up for retirement, what they're trying to do is get you into something like the S&P 500, one of these index funds where you're shooting for 7% returns a year, 8% returns a year, maybe 10% if it's a really good year. But what I realized is, hey, if I invest my money into myself, whether that's additional skill sets for whatever job it is that you're working or whatever industry you're in, whether I invest in myself for those additional skill sets, trying to build something real like this YouTube channel I'm trying to build here, I can exceed that 10% by a mile. So where our problem as a generation is, look, we don't have a lot of money. We're screwed for retirement. We're accepting the fact really that Social Security is probably not going to be here when we retire. That system's going to fall apart. We have to look at it and go, okay, then I need to outdo the 10% every year that they're telling me I should be putting in a retirement account. I should be putting in money and getting 10% every year. If we don't have that option because our money is so tight right now, how about instead of spending it on fun, we put that money into investing in ourselves, and we say, okay, how can I invest in me, in Mitchell, so that I can increase my earning potential 20% this year? You're only going to be young for so many years, and that's why a retirement account is important. I get that, but I say, look, while you've got that earning potential while you're young, invest in yourself in some of these skill sets, technologies, different investments that'll get you more than that 10% that you would have got with a retirement account. Now, obviously, I got to say, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice for you specifically. This is what I've observed, and these are the thoughts that I've had looking out at the world around me. It's like, look, we are more strapped financially, so I can either go and have fun and ignore the problem. I can try and invest these peanuts, these breadcrumbs, since we're making less money as Gen Z, into retirement and shoot for that 10%. Or I can take path 3, the third option, which is to potentially invest in myself and exceed whatever kind of 10% they want me to get in the stock market, exceed my earning potential that I would get if I just stayed in one job and essentially never worked on developing myself. Why don't I take this third option and develop myself? And I gotta say, I get it. It's not as fun to go to Disneyland when you're 80 versus when you're 20, right? You want to do this stuff while you're young and you can really enjoy it. I really do understand and appreciate that perspective. I'm telling you, I think more people should manage the amount of fun that they're having, right? If you're trading retirement for having fun today, you're going to be stocking shelves at Walmart at 83 when your back hurts. And that's fine if we've got a generation of people who want to do that, right? If that's the life that you want to live, that's totally fine. But I look at it too and I go, Gen Z, I think really lacks a sense of purpose. And what I think we need to do is really sacrifice and be that generation that can kind of lead by example for future generations, right? The reason that the boomers had it so good is because the generations before them really set them up and gave them a great kind of runway to run with. I think we've got to be honest about the fact that we don't have a great runway right now as Gen Z. So we can either kind of squander it further, or we can be the generation that toughens up, says, look, I'm going to sacrifice part of my youth, but I want to set up my family in the future. I want to give the people that come after me better opportunities than I had. I want to put money aside so that when I'm 80 years old, I'm not working at Walmart, necessarily stocking shelves, right? And again, if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. Feel free to do it. It's a free country. But what I'm saying is, I want to be in a position when I'm in my 80s that I can give my grandkids huge opportunities, thousands of dollars, life lessons from a life of hard work, right? And I think a lot of Gen Z right now, it seems like potentially trying to take that easy path out. It's something that I think we've got to get under control, guys. Just look, the future is going to sneak up on us faster than we want it to. You hear it from old people all the time. What decisions are you making today to make sure that that's a good future?